In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to set up a stream from start to finish with all the extras using OBS. Let's get into it. What's up guys, Ryan B here with Tech Gaming, and in this video I'm showing you guys how to set up a full stream step by step with all the extras, overlays, alerts, and even some free places to get them. So you're going to want to watch this video all the way to the end, not just so I can milk you for ad revenue, but because that's where the alerts and all the free stuff is. So go ahead and watch this video all the way through to the end. And if you guys do watch this video all the way through and you still have some questions, I do stream myself every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, link in the description down below for that. So you can hop in there and ask me some questions live. Also, if you guys do have any other questions, you can hit me in the comment section down below. And if you guys do find this video helpful, make sure you hit a like on the video. It goes a long way to spreading this out to other people. Think about subscribing to the channel if you'd like content like this, and let's just go ahead and jump right into it. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is go over to this website right here, StreamElements.com/OBS.Live, and I will have links for it in the description down below for you guys. And this is where we're gonna download OBS.Live, which is StreamElements attached to OBS Studio. So just go down here and click this download button, and then go ahead and run through the installer. So when you first open OBS.Live or StreamElements, it is going to ask if you want to run through the auto configuration wizard, and go ahead and click yes on this. It's just going to set up a few different settings for you that are the more important ones to set up, and it just kind of goes through a little faster. So we'll go ahead and run through this together. Click yes. It says optimize for streaming. That's the one that we want because we're going to be using it more for streaming. Now base canvas resolution, this is going to be the resolution of the screen here. So just keep this the same resolution as your monitor. And then FPS, you do definitely want to keep it at 60 if at all possible, especially if you're playing any sort of fast-paced games like FPS games or anything like that. Now for service, we are going to stick to Twitch for this video, but this is where you would switch through if you wanted to go through any other platforms, excluding Mixer because Mixer is dead. So any of the other platforms that you wanted to stream on, go ahead and click this. But again, for this video, we're going to stick to Twitch. Now you have two different ways to connect your account. You can use the stream key, which I'll show you guys how to do in a second, or you can just connect directly to your account. So if you want to use the stream key, what you're going to have to do is go over to twitch.com. Once you're at Twitch, just go ahead and click your little logo here, go down into settings, channel and video section, and it'll be the first box that pops up, which is your stream key right here. Now for this video, I'm not going to show it because if you have access to someone's stream key, you can stream from their account. So I'm not going to show it for this video. Just go ahead and click this copy button right here. Go back into the software, click use stream key, and then paste your stream key right in there. And that's how you would set up your stream key. But if you wanted to just connect your account directly, you can just click connect account and type in your account information. And from there, it'll automatically connect your account to all the things you need. And then go ahead and click next again. Then let it go ahead and finish up the auto configuration wizard. Now for this here, it is going to show us all the settings that it changed. So we're going to be running through Twitch for the service. The server is going to be whatever is closest. The bit rate is going to be dependent on how fast your internet speed is. And since I have fairly fast internet, it puts us up to pretty much the highest that Twitch recommends, which is 6,000 bit rate. It recommends the encoder of hardware NVENC, recording quality of high quality, 1080p and 1080p for both the camera's resolution and the output, which is what the stream sees. FPS value at 60, and that's all fine. And we'll go ahead and cover all these settings here in a minute and show you exactly where to find them in the settings. Go ahead and click apply. So we'll populate the stream information and your stream chat, which I like to set right there. You can again click and hold and drag any of these wherever you wanted. If you wanted them in certain places, I like to have them right there personally. And let's kind of cover everything that you're seeing here because there's a lot going on. So obviously you have your stream chat, you have your information for your titles, your going live notification, the game you're in, the tags that you want to add, and you scroll down and it has the update information if you changed anything. Next up right here is going to be the main preview window, which you see exactly what your stream looks like once you have things set up. Right down here is your scenes. So you think about this as like your starting soon screen, your going live screen, your main screen, which has your game and your webcams and all that. Then the sources are pretty much everything that you put inside each different scene. So that's going to be webcams, game captures, anything like that. The next spot is your audio mixer with all your different audio values and audio inputs and outputs. Right here is the scene transitions, and then we have a bunch of different settings and controls. So you can start streaming, start recording, studio mode, settings. Now the first thing we're going to do is connect to your stream elements. So we'll just go ahead and click the connect with Twitch. Again, if you have YouTube or anything else, go ahead and click that. So again, we will log in with our account, and that will change the preview screen to black, which it should be because you don't have anything currently set. So we'll kind of adjust a few things. You can click and drag and kind of change and set up this whole thing any way you want it. If you want things smaller, bigger, however you want to adjust it, you can change each into one. You can click and hold and kind of move them around. So you can customize this entirely the way that you want it. I kind of like this basic setup here that it's got. Now, before we get into any of the setup for setting up your scenes and all that, let's go ahead and run through some of the settings. So in general, there's not much there that you're gonna wanna change. You can kind of keep this all standard. Stream is important. That's gonna be where you set up your service if you wanted to switch over to YouTube or anything like that. Output is another important section. So you have simple output and then advanced. For now, we're gonna keep it simple. This next section here is video bitrate, and that's gonna be how much information you're gonna send through your internet to Twitch to make your stream look better. Twitch recommends at most a 6,000 kilobits per second, but you're gonna need to test your upload speed of your internet, and the best way to do that is go to speedtest.net, click this big go button, and then run through the test. And then run through the test and figure out exactly what your upload speed is and your download speed. The more important one here is going to be your upload speed. And just a heads up, so 1000 kbps is going to be equal to 1 mbps. So if you have a more than 6 mbps upload speed, then you're good to run 6,000 kilobits on your bitrate, but I still would suggest somewhere between 3 to 4,000 and go from there if you are lagging or having issues. We do have a full setup video of laggy stream optimizations. Just go ahead and click that card right there. It'll run through a lot of these things in a lot more detail for you. My upload speed is 57, so that would be equivalent to around 57,000 kbps, but again, you really only need an upwards of 6,000. It's kind of the max you need. For me, I am going to adjust this down to 4,000. So encoder is going to be the next setting here, and mine's set to hardware NVENC, and that's going to be the one you want if you do have an NVIDIA graphics card and you want more of your stream to be running off your graphics card, which is the better one to use. However, it's really going to be dependent on your system. So X264 is going to be more processor heavy, and then NVENC is going to be more graphics card heavy. So whichever one is better in your system is the one that you're going to want to run. For me, I'm going to run hardware NVENC. Audio is where you can adjust all your input and output devices for all this. So if you have other mics, other headsets, all that kind of stuff, you can set them up right here. Video is another important section. So base canvas resolution is going to be the resolution that you see here, which should be equal to your screen resolution. So there's no aspect ratio issues. The next one is going to be the output scaled resolution, which is going to be the resolution that your stream sees. For this, to make it easier on your system, I usually recommend running 720p, even if you have a high-end system. It just brings the load on your computer a lot less compared to 1080p, and it doesn't look that much different. Bicubic downscale filter is fine, and FPS value, again, we want it at 60, especially if you're running any fast-paced games. Hotkeys section is a section where you can come through and adjust and set certain things to activate on just one single key press. Now, speaking of hotkeys, I do have a full video right here on this card if you want to click on it to show you guys exactly how to set up free keys on your keyboard to function similarly to what a Stream Deck does. So if you want to use your keyboard and get the functionality of a Stream Deck, go ahead and click this card right here. So now we're going to start building the stream itself, and we're going to do that by adding a few scenes and a few sources. So first off, in scenes, we are going to start off with this default scene, and we can click this little plus button down here to add a new scene. We'll name this one main or game. We can remove that default scene. Let's go ahead and add one more scene, and this one's going to be for the intermission. Click OK, and let's click on the main because that's the one we're going to mess with first. And then next up, we're going to build something that'll capture the gameplay. And so we're going to go down into sources, click the plus button to add a source. And there's two different sources here that'll work for capturing your game. You have display capture, and then you have game capture. Display capture is going to capture everything on your screen entirely, and then game capture will capture just your game. And usually you're going to want to use game capture more often because it is less intensive on your computer. Display capture takes a little bit more resources, but for this video, display capture is a little easier to set up, so we'll just go ahead and click that one. You can rename it whatever you want. Display capture is fine for me. I'll click OK. Then right here is you can pick which display you're displaying. So I have two different monitors set up. You may only have one, but I'm going to choose this one to display and then click OK. As you can see here, it's kind of repeating itself just constantly because I'm recording and showing you the screen all at the same time. When you have a source highlighted, you're probably going to notice this red border all around it, and you can click and hold any of these boxes and resize, and then just click and hold and drag this around to move it around. You can right click it, transform, go fit to screen, and it'll put it back to full screen. To kind of show you that it captures the whole screen, if we minimize this, you can kind of see that it captures the entire screen. We're going to go back into full screen. So the next thing we're going to need is a webcam capture. So go back down into sources, hit the plus button to add a new source, and go up into video capture device. And that's going to be where all your webcams will be. For me, I'm going to rename this one webcam, and then click OK. For me, it's going to auto-populate the Camlink 4K, but I do have a bunch of others plugged in, so you just click this bar if you have different ones that you want to use. If you have a StreamCam, Brio, or whatever the situation is for you, you can go ahead and pick whichever one you want. For me, I'm going to stick with this one, and then click OK. And as you can see here, the screen itself is too big, so we're going to go ahead and click and hold that little border and drag it down, probably to about there, and then we can move it wherever we wanted on the screen. Now, just another thing to be aware of, that the sources are layer dependent. So the webcam being on top of the display capture means that it is on top of the display capture from your stream. If you were to remove this and put it below display capture, now it's completely gone because it's being hidden behind the display capture. If you grab the display capture and move it across, then you can see the screen right here. So make sure that all your layers are stacked exactly how you'd want them to be visible on your stream. And that there is pretty much everything you would need to start up your stream. But let's go ahead and add one more level to this and add in some overlays. So the first thing we can do to add an overlay, we'll hit the plus button. And if you want a static overlay, like for your webcam border, you're gonna wanna use image. So we'll go ahead and click image. We'll name this one webcam overlay. Click OK. Browse on your computer where your overlay is. For me, I have some set up on the desktop right now. Open that, click OK, and it's right here. For me, I'm gonna hold Alt to kind of clip out the bottom of this because I don't want all that stuff on the bottom of it. I'm just gonna clip that down, put this in the corner where my webcam is, and then I need to resize it. Not that one, I need to resize the webcam border. Put it about there, looks good. And I do want the webcam overlay on top of the webcam source, so that's good. You can also hold Shift and click on multiple sources at once to select them both at the same time and move them both together, and then put them both over there. You can also right click when you have them both selected and click Group Selected Items, and it'll bring it into a group that you can have this little drop down menu, and you can just collect all of them together by clicking Group and then moving that and resizing it as well. Now let's say you wanted an animated overlay, and that's going to be a different kind of source. And for this, we're going to go over to the intermission scene. We're going to add a new source, hit the plus button, and we're going to go to media source. And this is going to be for any sort of animations you want. Overlay. Browse again for that location. It's right there. I'll click open. And something to be aware of when you are running any animations, especially for an overlay, you are going to want it to loop rather than just play the animation once and then end and it disappears on you. So make sure you have loop selected if it's an overlay. And then click OK. It's already the right size because it's all set up, and you can see that the animation comes from the colors sliding around. And from here, again, we can kind of add in our intermission. We're going to need a video capture device. We can click Add Existing because it's the webcam source that we need, but we do need it below intermission. If we right click it and go to transform, edit the transform, we can actually edit the position, the rotation, the size, and all that. So for this one, we are going to want this one to be slightly smaller. We probably want it to be smushed together, probably like maybe 850. There we go, 850 seems to size that pretty well right in there. And then this next section right here is meant to show off your screen, so we can click the plus button again, go to display capture, add the existing source of the display capture. And again, we want this all the way on the bottom, but we do want it above the webcam. And then we got to resize it all the way down to about there. Let's make it slightly bigger to fit. Slide that down and about there. And that would be my intermission screen. So with multiple scenes set up, now you can start adding in certain scene transitions that add a whole nother level of production quality to your streams. So you want to come over here to the scene transition section, and there's a few different ones you can start off with. There's cut and fade. So cut is just going to cut right to the next scene without anything changing. If you switch to fade, it's going to fade into the next scene where it kind of fades in and fades out. And then if you add a new one, there's a couple different ones here, but the really cool ones are stinger transitions, which are animations, which I already have one set. So let's go here. I'll leave it named stinger. Browse for my stinger transition, which is right in here. Click open. It's going to set up here for a whole setup. We can scroll down and click preview. You can see the transition happens too quick because it's set to 0 milliseconds. So let's change this to 1000 milliseconds. Preview the transition, and it holds the transition right into there. So that one actually looks good. We'll click OK, and then we'll switch from intermission to main and see how that looks. And that looks actually really good. So as you can see here, stinger transitions really add a whole new level of production quality to your streams, and I definitely recommend having some in there. You can either make some yourself or find some on the internet, but you definitely want to add them in there. All right guys, so that is how you add in overlays if you already have the overlay files. However, if you do not have the overlay files and you're starting brand new, there is a way you can get some free ones. So go over to StreamElements.com, and then you're going to want to go down here and connect with your Twitch account. Exit out of that. Go over to this 3-bar section right here. Go down into alerts and overlays. hit the little arrow, and go to Themes Gallery. So in Super Themes, you're gonna have a whole list of things to go through and check out. You can hit the preview button to kind of see what they look like. So this is your gameplay scene, and they have a bunch of scenes already set up for you. Starting soon, be right back, stream ends. And then if you wanted one of these, you should go ahead and click Create My Overlay. But for this one, we're just gonna go over to regular themes and pick one of these more basic ones, just for the video. I'll preview this one. Just kind of a basic overlay with an alert and everything. I'll go ahead and click Create My Overlay. We'll just name it Red. Click Create. StreamElements runs their overlays through browser sources. So for this, we're gonna go ahead and click Copy to Clipboard and click See Theme in My Overlays. We can scroll down here, and this is the one that we just created. So again, we can preview or we can edit. So let's go ahead and click on Edit. And this is gonna go ahead and bring you into the full overlay of whichever one you decided to build. And you have a bunch of things right here. Should be the alert. Yeah, we click on it and it highlights the alert. Then here is going to be a few different sections for the webcam border. Then again, you can copy the browser source right here by clicking this, which is the same thing we did just a minute ago. Go back into this, and you can see here, we're actually gonna go ahead and create a new scene for this. We'll just call it Scene 2, that's fine. Add a new source, click this, and click Browser Source. This one we'll call Overlay. Click OK. Then right in here, it's gonna ask you for a URL, and that's where you paste in the thing that you copied. We are gonna wanna set this to our resolution, which for me is 1920 by 1080. And then click OK. It'll take a second to load, but there is the full overlay. Now you can't really edit it from here. It just kind of is what it is. You can move it a little bit, but you can't individually change the layering and all that. For that, you have to go back into StreamElements and edit it from here. So let's say you didn't want these things to say @Twitter. Click on it, find where the @Twitter thing is right here. Go into Settings, highlight this and change it to My Twitter. And then it'll be saved in here. Then you click the Save button. You don't have to recopy it, just click Save. Go back into OBS. And as you can see here, it might be a little small. Let's kind of make it bigger. It's now updated. Now one more time, if we go back over into StreamElements, let's say we wanted this whole thing to be moved over here for whatever reason. Then again, we just click Save. Back into OBS, and now it's updated right there. Now for the alerts, you can do the same exact thing. They already have some pre-built alerts for this one. We'll click this, and we're in the Settings tab, but if you were in the layers, it's right up here in the alert box, and then we can click Settings. Click this gear icon to kind of see what's all going on. You can go through and change all these settings here for your alerts. But let's say we didn't want this alert. In fact, let's say that we wanted a whole new alert system. So let's delete this one. We'll save that, move this back, go back one more time into Themes. If we're back into Themes, or we can click this bar, go back into Themes Gallery, and then click on the Alert section. We can scroll through here, and there's a bunch of different alerts set up, so you can pick the one you want. Let's go ahead and preview this one, see what this looks like. So these are these alerts right here. That actually looks pretty good, so let's click Create My Overlay. You can copy to existing if you want to just add it into the one that we already created, or we can create a new overlay. We'll call this one Alerts. Click Create My Overlay. Again, we can copy it right here. See the theme of my overlays. We have both of these overlays now. We can go into Edit, go into Settings, check out Follower Alerts, and you can see that that's what the follower alert is going to look like. You can change the image, change the video, volume controls, all that you can change in here. You can also go back into OBS to add this in. Now, in order to add in the alerts, we're actually going to go switch back to our main section where we have our full setup going. We're going to, I'm going to minimize this just a little bit so we can see both things. Gonna go down here into Sources, hit that plus button, go into Browser Source. I'm gonna name this one Alerts. Again, you can name it whatever you want, but this is for the alerts. Click OK. Paste in that browser source. Resize it to the right size, which for us is 1920 by 1080. Click OK. Again, it's gonna set the alerts all the way to the top, which is what we want. Now if we just click over here, slide this over just a little bit so we can see the preview window. Let's make this a little bit bigger so it's easier to see. Click Follower Event, and then the alert pops up right there. And there you go, guys. That is your whole stream right there. All right, guys, so that is everything you need to set up your stream. That's covering your broadcasting software, all the settings you need, your webcam capture, a way to capture your game, your alerts, and your overlays. So everything you need to have a really nice setup stream. So if you found this video helpful, make sure you hit a like on the video. Think about subscribing to the channel if you like content just like this. And if you guys want to talk about any of this in more detail, I do stream myself every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Link in the description below for that. And always relevant content.